Did you watch that Ahsoka series, the new Ahsoka?
Man, I 100% had to. As a Star Wars fan,
Right.
as a Rosario Dawson fan, as an Ahsoka
Right.
fan, bruh, fire. Like, you know what I mean? Straight. There's so many things I could say about it. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, I could talk about, I mean, there's little dry points in it too, of course. That's just how Star Wars is. But yet again, like I said, it's like just it. It's the action to slow parts ratio for me. Like, you
Yeah.
know, and Ahsoka was giving it, bro. Like it was giving it when it like Ahsoka, like the character that they got on Rosario was just like a more seasoned Ahsoka, and you
Yeah,
just
stoic.
feel, bro. Yeah, you feel the Jedi Master in her, bro. Like it's just like she cold, bro.
Yeah,
She
she
cold.
could. Yeah, I like the whoever those new Jedis are. They did their thing too. I like the dialogue and everything with those guys. And even though that first scene, like it kind of it's trying to be like what Rogue One did with Vader, with that it
Yeah,
like this has similar scenes and shit. And I don't feel like it's as good, but it was still cool to see them, what I'm saying, kick ass, what I'm saying, and just kick rebel ass or the New Republic, I guess. Also the New Republic is stupid as fuck. I just want to say that because they let a lot of shit slide, man. They let themselves get infiltrated by former empire people. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And they're just like, oh no, they swore to us. They're cool. Like, are
No,
y'all not gonna keep an eye on them? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know.
it's no, it's very solid, but you know what I mean. Like I said, it's key things. There's certain things that you can kind of like pick at it,
Nitpick, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. There's
you know what I
definitely
mean.
some
But at
nitpick
the
things.
same time, for me, it's like, and you really have to pay attention to some of the what people might not think is canon, but at this point you know it's canon, but it's just like the Clone Wars, Rebel Alliance stuff,
Yeah,
all that stuff. You have to kind of know a little bit about
know
that to
about it.
kind of
Yeah.
understand what's going on, or else you'll be a little lost. Like,
I didn't watch Rebels, but I've seen parts of Clone Wars, and I'm familiar enough with the lore because I watched a ton of fucking lore videos, and I was familiar with enough, what I'm saying, to just understand, what I'm saying. But I will say this though, I like that robot dude, that Hu
oh,
Young or
bro.
whatever. That dude is
Hey, he
funny as hell.
cold. He ain't got no filter. He pretty much told her like, you a trash ass Jedi, but we gonna try this anyway.
Yeah,
And then,
people.
the last episode, the song was like, "Did you say that?" He was like, "Hell yeah." He doubled down on it like she trash. I'm just saying, like you can teach her, but she trash.
Yeah.
Like I
So
was,
yeah, I didn't know that was that chick was the girl we're talking about is the Asian girl. I forgot the name of the character. But she I guess I know she's from Rebels and I know she had a history with Ahsoka, but I didn't know that I guess at one point Ahsoka was her master or whatever, or
yeah,
trying to teach her how to be a Jedi. And so they kind of have that in the story. But I think it's cool though. Like you said, like the robot people is if you haven't seen Ahsoka's show yet, the robot is kind of like a former Jedi robot or something because he knows all the Jedi stuff. Like he's old, he's like 100 years old or some shit
yeah.
or older. And so yeah, so when he sees her trying to be the Padawan, he just thought she's like, nah, you ain't material, you ain't Jedi material. Put the lightsaber up. Pretty
Yeah, like
much.
he was nice enough to be like, I mean, you can still try, you know, what I mean, you can attempt, you know, what I mean, you can try out for the band, but we know we pretty
Yeah,
much know what the outcome finna be. Like, mamas, you not it. You know what I mean? I was just like,
that
damn.
was hilarious. Yeah, I
She
love
was
that
like,
dude.
damn.
He's the second. I like the robot. He was cool, and then he kind of reminds me of the one in Rogue One because he was like a sarcastic fucking robot too, and he would just talk shit too. So yeah, I guess I like shit talking robots. People, I don't know something about that.
Yo, I'm tell you, man. Sometimes, was it C3PO used to get some little cold ones in there,
A little sassy ass, yeah, CB.
He was soft as shit, but he
Oh man,
was
he got on my nerves with all that shit. It was scary ass.
he sounded like he was like a tall ass gold alpha from the fucking Power Rangers. I
Ay,
mean,
ay, ay.
Alpha stole the swag from him, of course. You know what I mean? He was the
Yeah.
original, but.
But yeah, not a show's legit, man. The fight scenes were dope. I mean, I like the lightsaber fights.
uh,
What do you think about those big ass whales though? And spoiler alert, in the
yeah,
third
I was
episode,
Hmm?
that was,
Like,
that,
but that's the thing I love about Star Wars is
yeah,
just like it's such a big like verse. Like that's why like I'm really happy when they started making more stuff in like the Star Wars verse and all that stuff like this because there's so much to explore there. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
There's so much. and I'm loving how they're giving that with these shows, like
Yeah, expand the lore.
yeah, it's like that's fire, bro. So
Yeah,
it's
I
kind
don't have a
of
problem with that
like
either because
floating
yeah,
wells.
I mean, I know they're in the cartoon, the animated show, those whales, especially in the I think the last episode when Ezra, the Jedi they're looking for, ends up with Thrawn. Thrawn, who's I guess going to be the ultimate villain in this series. And I watched it. I watched the end and how that played out and how those whales played into that. So I'm not surprised that they were, in the live action. But I do have to say this to the nitpickers because there's some people that are criticizing Star Wars shit for like science type shit. But I'm like, Star Wars has never adhered to science, like the law of relativity and what I mean, like physics. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's more of a fantasy kind of show more than it is a science fiction show, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because they deal with mythological things. You know what I mean? Like the mythology of the Jedi and everything. So spiritual. It's very spiritual.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, bro. Like, you got all these people that just, they get like, I mean, there's getting into it, like, and kind of like the backstory of this and that, and then you talking about it as if they're real people, and it can be really fun and
Yeah.
very imaginative. Then it could get downright ridiculous, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah. It can.
okay, motherfucker, like. Does their plane really fly in that trajectory of the like, motherfucker? Come on,
Yeah,
hold on,
exactly. It's like the way they
hold
fly in space. Like we know that
on.
that's not how that shit is in real life, and you have to just Star Wars is Star Wars. It's the own thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's not
bro.
in this universe.
It's like, man, Google done fucked us up, like, because you over here looking, like, you
They
don't
like,
look a damn so, but you
well, wouldn't
done
they be in a different time zone if they were on this planet? And how would they coordinate?
far is
And
it?
with all the, what I mean? Like, come on,
How
man.
far is it from
This
Neptune?
isn't Star Trek.
Like,
This is Star
I need you
Wars.
to chill. I need you to just relax and calm the fuck down and enjoy it at some point. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get it, but shut the fuck up. You know what I
yeah. It's like,
mean? This is it. This is it. Like,
seriously.
nothing I can say to that that's like, profound besides chill out. That is it. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
let it be, man. But no, it's cool though, man. I liked it though so far. I don't like that the third episode was only 30 minutes though. I didn't like that. But it is what it is.
Yeah,
Filler.
but it was a good impacting episode. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, I don't give me no 40-minute episode and it's just like a bunch of shit that we could have fast forwarded, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like, it's
like
like
yeah,
you're like,
like
what?
in Mando.
Like, oh, bro, like Mando was this last season, it was full of that, bro. Like,
Yeah, I did not enjoy it that much, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I was like, brother, like, I'm about to skip this shit. Like, I love Mando, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I Grogu, they're my dogs, but I was like, y'all could have held this a little longer. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all could have
Oh,
or
I did want to mention one more thing though about the new Ahsoka series. I liked that they made that lady from season two Mando, the lady that Ahsoka fought on, like, what I mean, and they made her a witch from Dathomir. And for people who don't know, those witches they're in the game, that rebel game of what do you call it, Fallen Order,
Mhm.
and those witches ain't no joke. And so when she said that she was a witch from Dathomir, I was like, oh shit, no wonder she's riding with Thrawn. You know what I mean? Like she ain't
So
no joke then, bro. Like that's cool shit, man. I like that.
that's some dope shit. And do you think
Yeah,
I'm hoping that we get to see that character in there at some point? But
Cal.
Kyle, yeah, I would
Yeah,
love to see him, but like the timeline on that might be a little bit messed up because I don't know how old he is and how old he would be, or
yeah,
if they're going to even allow him to be a survivor, like, you know what I mean, although it's
yeah,
called survivor, but it's just like I don't know if they're
yeah.
going
Last
to allow
Survivor.
him to
Yeah,
be that, like, you know what I mean, and still alive or in Ahsoka's era, but he could come up in somewhere else, and he's young enough to do that, like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying. A young enough actor to do that, like, you know what I mean. He's a known actor, dude from
yeah. He's a
Shame.
very good actor. He's in
I don't know
Gotham
his
and
name.
everything.
He'll forever be dude from Shameless until I learn his name. But but
Damn.
that is what it is. But yeah, no, I actually I hope to see, like, I love that they're connecting everything. Like, it's awesome.